Look at this beauty of a weapon. It's so sick. Look, I'm gonna be so for real. I'm a sucker for rapiers, whatever they're called. I think they're called rapiers. I don't think they're called rapiers. They're probably pronounced rapiers. But these things, they look fantastic. They're very stylish. And they have a decent stance too. And I have a pretty good Riven too, if I do say so myself, okay? I understand. Without the Riven, there is a big difference here. Okay, sure. I have a Riven. Fuck it. I'm gonna use the Riven. I don't really care. The big thing that carries onto this weapon though is this. Like, seriously. This, plus this, plus this, and then plus this. So you get status chance from here, status chance and puncture from here, status chance from here. So melee Dodi will just keep climbing in critical damage as we go up. Now I know you're gonna say, oh, you are getting critical damage on a weapon with straight puncture though. That fucking sucks. Well, it would, yes, except this stance has guaranteed bleed procs. So you just use those guaranteed bleed procs and then you heavy attack, which is also a guaranteed bleed proc, and you see some damage. That is kind of the idea of it. What this weapon has, which is really bad, is that the attacks of rapiers, whatever you call them, they are kind of straight. They don't have a wide angle. They only kind of hit in front of you, which is weird a bit. Because of this reason, because they only hit in front of you instead of hitting on a wide angle, it doesn't have too much AoE damage, which is something that we could see fixed with the Incarnon form. However, in terms of like actual damage this thing does, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, it's it does millions of damage. It does ridiculous damage numbers, and of course it would, because the melee Dodi percentage, or the melee Dodi times multiplier, can reach ridiculously high numbers, like 30x if I remember correctly. Like you could reach 30 times critical damage onto this weapon with melee Dodi, which is absolutely wild, by the way. Dude, look at this thing. I wish I could see my character here and show you what it looks like, but damn, this thing is so stylish. Anyway, so as you can see, the stance mode is full of thrusts. Because it's full of thrusts, you're not hitting really like anything side to side, you're only hitting in front of you. It's not really a big issue, but it does lower the KPM of this weapon by quite a lot. However, you're gonna see the damage. So when we're playing this melee Dodi 2.6, pay attention to how high it will climb. So we're on 3.6, 5.2, 5.9, 6.5. Already the damages are quite there. 7.8, 8.5, 9.1, 3 million. So 11.1 now, and almost there, 11.7. So we get an increase of 11.7 critical damage, and as we can see, we just dealt 43 million damage to that guy in one heavy attack with just the weapon's heavy attack. Nothing else really. I could have done Eclipse, and Eclipse would probably like almost triple my damage there, but the heavy attacks on this thing hit like badly. My god, they feel powerful. If you want to cosplay Fiora from League of Legends and some other character that uses rapiers that you really like, you got that. You got that. My god. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna use Eclipse. I cannot not use Eclipse here. This is so beautiful. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and add a build that adds me 5 purple shards after, just to show how far this can reach. Because holy shit. I mean, we're seeing some crazy damage numbers after. Like, already rather. We're seeing crazy damage numbers already. After, we're just gonna skyrocket those damage numbers, you know? So yeah. Don't sleep on this weapon. It's really powerful. Honestly, I can imagine like some deviations to the build that give it a bit of elemental damage, which would probably skyrocket your damage. Like you sacrifice crit damage for elemental damage. Yeah, I mean, honestly, god damn. Just what a melee, what a melee. It's so fun. As I said, has some issues. Low AoE, which means you have to really aim with it, which is something I know Warframe players don't like doing. The damage is insane, so if somehow it gets a wider range of attacks on its Incarnon form, it gets like, you know, you attack with like some spectral ghost around you or some shit like that. So you do triple hits, maybe. Some crazy shit, I don't know. Like, I'm just LARPing, but it's nice to speculate on stuff like that, as I said on the previous videos, so I don't know. The good thing about the 5 weapons that DE picked is that they're all fun weapons, honestly. I think the least fun weapon out of all of them is the Obex and maybe the Thug, but the Thug is not fun because, like, it's just... The Thug is not fun because it's straight up bad. Like, you know, it's just straight up really bad. If it was better, I can imagine Thug being a fun weapon. Like, if it had some kind of better mechanics. Because the idea of it is not the worst. Like, a pure AoE only weapon with small AoE and gradually exploding projectiles. It just had some really bad mechanics that drop its potential down quite a bit. But I can really see a vision where, or a universe where Thug is really, really good. But yeah, the Destreza fucks, man. This weapon, like, you just point it at a direction, press the heavy attack button with Senokai, and just watch the damage. Well, you have to hit the heavy attack as well, but yeah. Alright, take 2. Yeah, and then watch the damage. 1.8 million. Pro, please. This Kavad is selling, or it's a file, but it's selling right now, please. Okay, 13 million, not too bad, not bad. Okay, stay alive, please. I wanna see big damage on that guy. Come on, Kavat. Hit this guy. Whatever. Oh, 4.4 million. I mean, I saw 40 million, and honestly, the Acolyte is probably gonna get one time. If I'm being so for real, yeah, it's gonna die immediately. But yeah, as you can see, the KPM is really low on this weapon because of the issue. Damage through the roof, KPM really low, single target weapon moment. Yeah, I'm hoping that we see some really good Incarnon form on this that increases its potential as an AoE, and that could fix it. Oh, one heavy attack. Goodbye misery. But honestly, the Destreza, I think Destreza can reach the highest critical damage out of every weapon in the game in the melee weapon category already. It's either that or the ceramic dagger. So it's like already a really decent weapon. It just has really shallow range of attacks, you know. That's about it. Alright, for the second showcase, give me this wisp. And what do we do for Subsume? I think we could still go Eclipse. I don't think Wrathful is needed, to be honest, because Destreza has already some pretty decent Wrathful stuff, let me tell you. So I might just go Eclipse and say screw it. So with this wisp, we see the crit damage is now 23x, 23 times crit damage on its own with a 5 purple Shards wisp, and then you add the 12x crit damage from this, so you get to over 30 times critical damage. It's insane, bro. I don't like, regardless of what you do on a weapon, when you give it 30 times critical multiplier and then a 12 times multiplier on the heavy attack, it is bound to do some crazy shit. Like it is gonna do some crazy shit. There is no way. But I mean, honestly, it's beautiful. This weapon, it really is just amazing. Shut up, Marie. Oh. W spawn. Sure, you're asking nicely, Lotus, so I'm gonna do it. You free energy. This is my favorite room to do melees, so one of my favorite rooms in the void to let's play survival on this. Like solo survival on this is legit peak. Anyways, this build from Wisp is way squishier, so we gotta be a bit careful. It's just focusing on pure damage. But we're gonna see some numbers here when things start kicking in. I mean, we're already seeing 10 million, 7 times multiplier. Jesus. $52 million on 9 times multiplier. Yeah, this does a lot of damage. This build kind of relies on you killing fast enough and generate energy from the enemies that you're killing. So far it's working, but at some point it might not, because obviously it's not the best weapon to do AoE damage. Oh, fuck no. Those damage numbers are juicy though. Also, I gotta say, Panja Vopa, the GOAT. My health bar is going crazy. Not gonna lie. Like, look at my health bar. It's like I'm life stealing with my sword, but it's just Panja Vopa Fire. Just healing me all the way back up to my full health. It's so crazy. 104 million. Okay, there is some 9 digits. 9 digits, very cool. But I can imagine this being really good once we get an Incarnon, eh? I mean, it's already dealing over 100 million damage with a lot of investment. So I can imagine. 92. Another big number. Yeah, just a ton of damage coming from this weapon's heavy attacks. And if you do the neutral combo, the neutral combo also does like quite a bit of damage to the bleed rocks, but the heavy is where it's at. Obviously you could try Truth Flame, but I wouldn't suggest it, as this weapon has a really small arc. You actually need to like aim your heavy attacks quite a bit, which yeah. If you miss it, you're kind of cooked, and then you have to stack again, which takes quite a while on this weapon because it doesn't hit too many enemies at the same time. Not gonna lie. So yeah, Truth Flame, if you want to use it, go ahead, but use at your own risk, honestly. I feel like using just regular Tanukai, Dreamer's Wrath, is probably the best thing you can do with this. Oh, misery. Oh no. Misery. Misery. Oh my god. Yeah. Just a very stylish weapon, a very strong weapon, and a weapon that can deal insane damage numbers. Does it have issues? Yes, but Incarnon forms means that we are trying to fix the main issues these weapons have. And I'm really glad to see a weapon this good looking getting some Incarnon form adapter. Honestly, I'm really excited for it. I'm probably gonna still go for Vectis Ballistica for the free ones, but I'm gonna buy this, the Stug, and the Obix with Plat and test all of them, make a video about it, see what it's all about. But even now, Destreza Prime is really good as a weapon. It's a really powerful weapon, mainly due to melee Dori. I think my Riven, you know, you have a lot happening from my Riven, but even without it, you could still like replace this with Organ Shatter, keep some decent crit multiplier. You're like at 22.6 instead of 23 with my Riven, and you're just losing base critical chance. So my Riven, it's not like the biggest thing in the world. Like, I'm gonna be so for real. Yeah, critical chance a lot, but Blood Rush, Gladiator Mites, they do most of the carrying here. And Dreamer's Wrath also helps, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. I think critical damage is replaceable. You get some decent stats, and you would actually do quite a bit of damage even if you don't have a Riven, but that's just me. Thank you very much for watching another video of mine, and I'll see you on the next one.